Welcome back to Middle-earth Quest. This is Eleanor's turn 4, and as we know, she's all the way here at Barad-dûr, the deepest, darkest part of Mordor, and things are looking not too great for her. Okay, so before anything even begins, of course, Sauron, being the evildoer that he is, already has something up his sleeve. And I don't know if I can get this. Maybe I can get it in camera. Look right here. He has 3 influence in his shadow pool. And what does that mean? It means he is able to play one of his cards. One of his evil cards. And he's playing this one, which has a cost of 3. He's playing it, of course, against Eleanor. And it says, seem fairer, feel fouler. And what it means is, play at the start of a hero's turn, well, which would be right now for Eleanor, if she is not in a haven. Well, she's not in a haven, she's in a stronghold of Sauron. It says the hero must combat an agent. Then, if the hero has at least 1 corruption card, Sauron draws 1 plot card. The hero skips the ambush step this turn. So basically, Eleanor doing all of her activities at Barad-dûr alerted Sauron, of course, and he sent an agent out to deal with her. So we're going to do this combat, and then afterwards Sauron gets to draw a plot card. So this works very well for him. So he's playing that. So put that in the discard pile for now, and I will show you the agent card, and then we'll set up for some combat. Alright, so the agent card looks like this. The agent has 3 hit points, has a fortitude of 5, which means he'll be drawing 5 cards from this deck, which is 60% ranged, 20 or 40% melee, has a strength of 3, which means he can play cards up to 3, and a wisdom of 3. So if Eleanor doesn't defeat him, Sauron will be able to spread 3 influence tokens around the board. And he has spread lies once per battle. After you deal damage with a ranged card, your opponent receives 1 corruption card. So this guy is pretty foul. Alright, I'm going to rearrange the board a little bit, set up the combat, and we'll get to it. So here we have Eleanor. I took her off of Barad-dûr. I have to remember to put her back in the right place this time, and I just have the agent card down here. So the agent is going to be drawing 5 cards from this deck, the 60% ranged, 40% melee deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are going to be his cards for the upcoming combat. Let's go over to Eleanor's area and get her prepared for combat. Okay, so here we are at Eleanor's area. Now, she has buffed up 2 of her skills. She has a strength of 6 and an agility of 2. And so she's only fighting an agent. She's going to leave her strength at 6, and she's going to draw 2 cards. 1, 2 off the top of her life pool, leaving 1, I know, nasty situation. She's going to add these to her hand. So she's going to have a total of, I believe, 8 cards now in her hand. So quickly look, she has Hide, Range, Strike, Anticipate, Rest, Hide, Range, Strike again, Hide, and Charge. Okay, we're going to take those cards over to the battle area, and we're going to have a showdown with Eleanor versus the evil agent of Sauron. Okay, so I've arranged the agent's cards in the order that he's going to play them. So this will be his first card played, and this is, of course, the rest of his cards. I think Eleanor is not going to fool around. She's going to just come right in with a charge, because she knows the agent has more ranged cards than melee. So she's just going to come right in. That will cancel a ranged card, and it also does 2 damage. So let's see, what did the agent play? Well, perfect. The agent played Poison Arrow, which is if you deal at least 1 damage this round, deal 2 additional damage. That was a good ploy by the evil agent, but Eleanor here anticipated it, playing charge. Cancel your opponent's ranged card. So the agent is going to take 2 damage. Still alive, but he gets hit twice. We have these damage tokens here, so I'm going to put 2 of them on the agent. He has a life of 3, so we're going to continue combat. He is going to play his next card, and let's see what we're going to do. I think I'm going to actually play Rest. A little bit risky, but it's a draw up to 2 cards from the top of your Rest pool, or life pool. So this means she can pull 2 cards from her rest pool. She might take some damage, but she wants to get as many cards in her hand as possible to try and get out of Barad-dûr. Okay, what did the agent play? The agent played Charge, and that now takes him to a strength of 3. That's all the strength he has. It says cancel your opponent's ranged card. Well, she didn't play a ranged card. She played a melee, so it's not canceled. However, she is going to take 2 damage. And she's going to take 1 from her hand, and that goes into her damage pool. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, she actually, heroes actually resolve their cards first. So she gets to draw 2 cards from the top of her rest or life pool. She's going to pull 2 cards from the top of her rest pool, which was Charge and Concentrate. And now she must discard 2 cards, either from her hand or her life pool. So she's going to discard the 1 card from her hand. That goes to her damage pool. And she had 1 card left in her life pool. She's going to put that into her damage pool, leaving her the most cards in her hand. Well, the fight's not over yet. The agent then plays his next card. And let's see what Eleanor is going to play. She is going to play 1. She has 2 of them. She's going to play 1 of her ranged strikes. So plays a ranged strike. Now she's far away from using up her strength. However, the agent is already at 3, so he may be exhausted here. Let's have a look. The agent plays Hack. Okay. And Hack does 1 damage. It says gain 1 attack if your opponent plays a melee card. Well, this time she plays a ranged card, so that doesn't happen. And she has 1 defense, so she blocks the 1 attack. And she does 1 damage, gain 2 attack if your opponent plays a ranged card. Well, he didn't. So he takes 1 damage, but that is enough to kill or defeat the agent. All right, good job for Eleanor. She gets rid of the agent. Now she still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in her hand, but that's all she has. All right, let's go back to the main board and continue on with Eleanor's turn. Okay, so Eleanor here back at Barad-dûr, the proper spot this time. Looking at her cards, she has, like I said, 6 of them. She is in deep, deep trouble. She's going to play this card into her rest pool to move from Barad-dûr to Mount Doom. Now in Mount Doom there is more influence tokens than she has wisdom, so it is a perilous space for her. There's also a monster token, so Sauron gets the choice to either spring the monster token on her or make it perilous. And Sauron, I also forgot, before we do anything else, that she is going to take, did she take 1 corruption? I think she was supposed to take 1 corruption from this card. And this card says, the hero must combat the agent. Then, if the hero has at least 1, she has at least 1 corruption card, Sauron draws a plot card. That's what it was. So Sauron actually gets to draw a plot card. I almost forgot that. That gets added to his hand. Okay, and the other thing was on the agent card, it had to do if she takes, once per battle, after you deal damage with a ranged card, your opponent receives a corruption card. So let me just turn back the clock a little bit, watch that, and see if she got damaged by the range card. Honestly, now I can't quite remember, and I'll come back with that. All right, so carrying on, no, Eleanor did not take damage from a ranged attack. It was the 2 damage she took from a melee attack. All right, so she does have 5 cards remaining in her hand. And now, like I said, she's moved into a spot that has peril and a monster. And Sauron, being the nice guy he is going to do peril. So you take the 3 cards off the top of the peril deck. And Sauron gets to choose 1. So any location in Brownlands and Mordor, that's a possibility. All 3 are possibilities. So Sauron's going to review what he wants to spring on her, and we'll come right back. Okay, Sauron is playing an unexpected betrayal. The eyes that had shone so often with kindness now showed nothing but cruelty. The hand that had been clasped so many times in friendship was now armed with a dagger. So I guess one of the friends she was with in Mordor is now betraying her. The hero must choose to either be dealt 5 damage or allow Sauron to draw 1 plot and 1 shadow card. Wow, that's a tough choice for Eleanor. She only has 5 cards left in her hand. If she's dealt 5 damage, she is going to be defeated. She kind of wants to stay here to knock this influence down to nothing on her next turn. And she's out of the range of the black hand for the moment, and it's going to knock all the influence down. So, given the tough choice, she is going to hang on to her cards. She is going to let Sauron draw a plot card, and she's also going to let Sauron draw a shadow card. All right, that was probably a horrible idea, but she has the plan to try and get rid of as much influence there as she can. Given that Eleanor only has 5 cards remaining, I think she's just going to stay there and put her plan into action, which is going to be reducing the influence here. Now, because she's in a perilous space, of course, the last thing in the hero step now is the encounter step, and she will not have an encounter because she is ending her turn in a perilous space. All right, Sauron threw everything but the kitchen sink at her there. She has 5 cards remaining. She took out the agent. She was betrayed. Boy, Mordor, not a good place to be hanging around in. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for Argalad's turn. We'll see if he can get over past the mouth of Sauron, and we'll see what happens. All right, thanks for watching.